My regards. We are living International Football Week. Naturally, we will make a video or two inspired by this week, based on the football standards that we know as the standards of football quality. To be precise, there was no logic that said that Argentina would win the World Cup before the tournament except the presence of Lionel Messi. I mean, they entered the World Cup, they did not have the best goalkeeper in the World Cup, and they did not have the best defense line in the World Cup, nor a midfield. Even the attacking line compared to other lines is not the best attacking line except for Messi. But after the World Cup we saw several players in this team who were the best in their positions in the World Cup, a cup that of course ended with their coronation, and ended with different lessons and major surprises. Morocco is in the semifinals, Japan knocks out Germany in the first round, and second details. Many, and recently we saw how Uruguay came back with great strength and achieved important results after we felt that the team had strayed far from the known level, and we saw Colombia defeat Brazil. This is the introduction that I used to tell you, the secret that I see in international football from now on, the secret that makes football in another way. It is related to the national teams, and it is very far from club football. We all know that it is definitely slower and certainly less tactically complex, but the most important thing is that at the level of the big stars and the big teams, belonging to the national shirt is no longer like in the past, but rather belonging to the club shirt more, meaning a player like Tony. If Kroos had retired in the 1990s and continued playing well for Real Madrid, the German press would have destroyed him. But now the matter is normal. If Brazil had exited the World Cup in 1998 as it did Croatia in 22, there would have been a lot of uproar, news, and problems, but they also left quietly, and this is because of him. International football at the level of major competition at the tournament level has nothing to do with quality as in the past, at all. In the past, the good players, the big stars in the national teams used to make the difference. Now what makes the difference is spirit and passion, and that you create a united team that wants to achieve something together. No matter what. You had stars. If you had no motivation, you would not have achieved anything in international football, because as I said, the tactical aspect is much lower than the club level. This is what Nagelsmann explained, after Germany lost to Turkey, and he said that emotion comes first, then the tactical aspect. Let us go back. Argentina, when it entered the 22nd World Cup, yes, it had great players, but it played in the spirit of average teams, not in the spirit of a big team like Argentina. They played as if they were fighting for every ball at every moment, and they acted with a fighting mentality, the result of which was showing quality in the best possible way, and winning the title, and this is what it is. The most important change that has occurred in international football is that not only our passion, we as fans, has declined in it, but also the passion of the players themselves, and in the end they are normal human beings whose affiliation, focus, passion and spirit are more to the club, and it takes more money, and the clubs therefore any championship from now on before we begin to expect. In the international tournament, we must pay attention to desire. Players can achieve something based on their willingness to fight and the unity of their ranks. It is possible that the coaches of the big teams begin to realize this fact, and we begin to see the exclusion of some stars, even though they are at the top of their performance with the clubs, in exchange for calling up an average player, but it gives you the combat aspect and the team chemistry aspect, meaning that some names are no longer called up on the basis of the best, but rather on the basis of the spirit and the desire to sacrifice, because it has become a more important weapon than the tactical weapon of quality in football. For your information, in the past some coaches made some exclusions, but these were rare cases, and it is possible that in the coming years, it will become the normal situation that a player who is excellent is not called up to the national team, because the coach sees in another player who is ready to run more than him, who gets tired more than him and helps his colleagues more than him.